Okay, we're
Hello.
live. Okay, everyone, welcome to the third episode of Voicing Opinions. I have a very special guest today who I've had my eye on for ages, the lovely Charlotte Carter. Hi,
Oh,
Charlotte.
thanks for having me.
No worries. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Been all go this morning. So,
One of them mornings.
yeah, just a bit. But the school run's done, posts are out. I think it's going okay.
You're ready for the day.
Yeah.
So just kind of to remind everyone and yourself of the kind of layout of the show, we have 3 rounds, which contains 3 questions. And the last round is questions that are just specifically designed for you. Now, I've tried to play it cool. There's nothing too hard in there for you.
Good. I'm not very good when I'm put on the spot and I didn't have a chance to really read the questions properly, but
It's
it's
fine.
fine.
I'll go with it. It's fine. Don't worry. So yeah, that's the kind of set out, and then hopefully if we get any questions, then we will do a Q&A about 10 minutes at the end. If there is anyone watching, please drop something in the comments. Oh yes, Sultan is already
Yeah,
here.
we got a hello.
We got a
Hi.
hello. Hi, Sultan. Love it. He always seems to pop in at the right time. Okay, so should we get started? Are you ready?
Let's go.
Cool. Okay, so icebreaker round is first, which is a bit of fun, really. It says name says on the tin it is an icebreaker. Funny that. And the first question, I'm going to set the scene as I always do. You finish the show, you check your phone to find out that you've won £10 million. I know, right? It's a dream scenario.
I really wish that was going to happen.
Me
I
too.
could do with that right now.
Same. And what would be the first thing you would do if that happened?
I'd probably have a really good think about what I'm going to spend that money on, to be perfectly honest with you.
You're not going to go all out irrational
No,
and just...
no, in my younger years, I would have done, like, when I was modelling, I used to do some jobs and I would get, like, a substantial sum of money and it would be gone in, like, 2 months. I would just literally walk into Selfridges and be like, that, going out every night, like, literally thought, and then, like, 2 months later, I'd be skinning it and I'd be like, where's all that money gone? Like, how's this actually happened? I had, like, 10 grand in my bank 2 months ago and I've literally got nothing.
You got a couple of Gucci handbags to show for it.
Yeah, so I think I would firstly have a really good think, but I would definitely sort my mum and dad and my brother out, and like my brother's daughter Annabelle has got cerebral palsy, so she's had an operation. We actually did some fundraising on LinkedIn and managed to raise like 17 grand, which was amazing. Yeah, but she will need another operation on her hip soon, so which they're going to go private for, because she's not eligible to have it done on the NHS, which is just a really annoying thing. So that's going to probably cost about 30 grand. Yeah, I know. So and they're constantly doing like therapy sessions. Like they get a couple of sessions with the NHS, but it's nowhere near what she actually needs. So I definitely would sort them out, and then I think I'd probably build like a women's refuge. Because I'm not looking to build a women's refuge at the moment, but I definitely, with Carter Bags, once it takes off, and I have reached out to a couple of charities so far, because I don't want to sort of do the 10% of profits goes to, and I think that's amazing, obviously, when people do that, but I would like to build the company up to a certain level and then really start actually doing work with people and help them sort of rebuild their lives, help them with like deposits for houses if they've had to leave with nothing. And quite often like women would leave and they've got absolutely no clothes for their kids, they've just got to get out the house. So I think definitely that would be something I would look to do. If I had £10 million, like you could literally change so many people's lives. So, and obviously I'd buy myself a massive house as well. Like I'm not that nice.
Your refuge first, then other people's.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I'd want a mansion, obviously.
Sultan loves that idea. And we've got a few people as well popping up in the chat. Hello to AJ.
Hi.
We've got Rahul as well. Hello. So it's good to see people are watching. That is always helpful. Okay, so that was a good answer. That I like that one actually. It's quite
a long-winded answer. Sorry.
No, we love long-winded. Let's get into it. Second question. Sorry. What was the last text that you sent? I find these are really juicy.
Actually, the last text I said was when you get people telling let me start again. When you get people telling you're doing everything wrong, you know you're doing it right.
Yes.
And that was about LinkedIn marketing.
I love that.
Yeah, because one of my customers put a post out yesterday and someone hopped on there and was like trolling them, and I was like, that's exactly like, you know that you're doing it right when you start getting trolled, so like celebrate
that
your trolls.
Is so true. Yeah. Thanks for trolls out there. Yeah. Oh, we've got Claire has shown her face.
Hi, girl.
Hello, Claire. I feel like everyone does. Like every time I watch Nick Rayburn's on a Friday and Claire pops up, Nick's like, yeah. I feel like everyone gets excited when she just pops in.
She doesn't say hey, she's just like, bitches.
Yeah. So true. I love that. Well, that was a good text, actually. I like that.
Yeah, that was quite good, actually. It wasn't like the one I sent before, which was nowhere near as interesting.
Yeah, it was quite interesting, actually. It was funny on the last episode I did with Ian Griffiths. He sent a selfie. He sent a selfie and he was showing it on the camera, and it was so funny.
Oh,
that was a good one. Okay. Right. Last question of the icebreaker round. What is something that LinkedIn won't know about you? Which is probably quite hard to think of because you pretty much share everything, quite like me.
Yeah, I'm quite open from a LinkedIn point of view. No, there is actually quite a lot of things people don't know about me that I just never post about, but I wouldn't reveal them either.
Yeah, they're quite for a reason.
Yeah, there's certain parts of like my personal life that I just keep really quiet because that's how I like to keep it.
Yeah.
But yeah, what would they not know about me? I don't know. Like you say, I'm just quite open and honest. Like I even sometimes, if I know something's not going to go down well, I still post it. Yeah, Claire's saying, "Christ, how long have we got?" Yeah, there's loads of stuff I can't really say right now, Courtney. Anything that's able to be out in a public domain is already out there.
Yeah. Very similar to me. I'm a bit of an oversharer. Well, Claire said that she could share him. She's ready to out you right here, right now. We'll hold back on that, Claire. We don't want to start any beef. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like
right now.
Yeah. It's going to be like Gossip Girl. We'll just start sharing each other's secrets on live.
Yeah. No, Claire and I have a pact that we literally can't ever out each other for certain things because we could literally both just absolutely ruin each other. So once we started, like we've just agreed that we both just keep our mouth shut. Yeah, 100%. Like we just can't even go there.
Someone asked if we've got any superpowers. Well, I definitely do not have any superpowers. I mean, actually, I do have supersonic hearing.
Do you?
I can hear anything. Like slurping of tea is a noise that I hate, and I can hear it from miles away.
Yeah, my daughter's got supersonic hearing because she likes to like spy on everything that I do, and it amazes me. I'm like, could you go and take that up to your bedroom, please? She doesn't hear it, like for the 7th time. And then if I'm like in the kitchen with the door shut and like I've like done everything I can to like block the noise out and whisper something quietly to someone, she literally hears every single word. So I haven't quite worked out how she does that. But yeah, that was a good one. Hearing.
I wish we had.
I would say for me, probably my superpower. Sometimes I can predict what people are going to do next. Like with like, yeah, I know. Like in business, I always get a feeling. Since I started listening to my gut feeling, it actually works, because I think you spend a lot of time telling yourself like, oh, don't, like, oh, that's stupid, like, don't listen to that, like, it's just a voice in your head, or like, it's just, you know, stupid feeling. But actually, when you really get in touch with your gut feeling, it's funny
Yeah, I completely
that
agree.
it quite often comes true. Yeah, when they're like really happy, or when they're like questioning something, I often know what they're gonna like come out with next, if you know what I mean.
That's
So
so
yeah,
weird. Maybe you're a bit of a
I'll say that's my
medium.
super. I don't know about
I
that,
love
but
that. Sultan saying I've got misophonia on steroids, which is 100% accurate.
what's misophonia?
So it's kind of like a phobia of noises, which I
Oh,
definitely have in some way, because like that
really?
slurping tea it makes me see red. I could literally murder someone.
My goodness.
Which
Don't
is
go
so
to the tea
bizarre when
room.
you think about it. Yeah, I know. My dad is the worst. When I lived at home, I literally used to like want to strangle him. Like, no.
It's not like he's down in a vodka or anything. He's just sat there having a casual cup of tea, and
Oh
you're there like
no.
him over the edge of something.
Sorry, Steve. Okay, so next round, delving deeper round. So we're going to try and get into what you do a little bit more in this round. So the first thing we want to kick it off with is explain what you do in 5 words, which is probably going to be hard for you because you kind of have 2 things to explain.
I'm focusing on the one thing at the moment, though. I am still
Okay, that's
continuing
good
with
then.
Murder as a Box of Frogs, just so everyone knows. If you do need any help with
Right.
LinkedIn marketing, give me a shout. But at the minute, like, I've got a really good client base with Murder as a Box of Frogs, and I really want to get my bags off the ground, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say I make ladies' laptop bags.
Perfect. I'd count then just to make sure. That is it. Straight to the point. Love it. Perfect. Well, that's nice and easy. What's not to understand about that? Okay, next we want to know, what is a common myth within your profession that you want to debunk?
Oh, all right then. Well, I don't really know about any common myths, but something which I've heard quite a lot, and I've actually had some messages telling me that women don't need their own specific laptop bag. I'm sorry, but they do.
Yes,
We
they
do not
do.
want to be material masculine laptop bags no more. Okay, I'm putting an
Well,
end to that.
it's funny you say that. Literally, hold that thought.
See,
It's older than me.
and this is another thing, because
It's
look,
huge.
yeah. I mean, these are quite big, because I do believe that. How full is that laptop bag that you've got at the moment?
Very.
Very, exactly. So you do actually need quite a lot of stuff, like when you actually get into it. Otherwise, you end up using 2 bags, don't you? So hang on, I've just handily got this here.
Oh, what a coincidence. One I cooked up earlier.
Actually, they're almost the exact same size as a traditional laptop bag when you hold it that way.
Oh, yeah.
But obviously, I've designed it that way because I think it's so. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm going to have to get myself
So
one,
yeah,
aren't I, really?
we do need these, and I love the like gold details and everything. You know. But
And
yeah,
as Sultan's pointed out, vegan friendly, which is a big thing for me. I was like,
yeah.
yes, when I saw your
Yes,
post. I was
you're
like,
a
woohoo!
vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to buy anything that isn't vegan friendly now. So it's a big
That's so
one for me.
difficult. It's
Oh,
really,
it's
really
really hard.
difficult. Yeah,
You
really
don't
difficult.
realise how much animal products are in the weirdest of things.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like a
mean,
lot of
even
makeup as well.
yeah, makeup, yeah, big time. and even just trying to be sustainable, there's so much greenwashing that goes on with companies nowadays. Even I was doing some reading this morning. I actually found an account on to hang on, I'll tell you. A step-by-step guide to making your brand seem more sustainable than it is. How disgusting is that?
Oh my
And
God,
it's
so it's
literally
like a trick.
Yeah, and all the major, well, not all the major, there are some brands that really do go a long way in making sure that their products are sustainable and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of it is absolute jokes. Like it's looking at like take back schemes, which I think H&M are doing now, and I think Zara do it as well. And it's just a facade of trying to make your brand look more sustainable than it is. When they're not actually going and doing the legwork and making sure, obviously, when they've got such a vast product range and they're selling to keep track of. But I bought a skirt in Asda last night. I'm loving the supermarket shopping at the moment. Every time I go, I end up in the clothes aisle, which I know I shouldn't do, but I do. And it's really nice, actually. And it said recycled cotton on it. And I thought, oh, that's nice. Like, I'll get that. And then when I got home, I looked at it again and it said contains recycled cotton. And the actual label inside the skirt is so not non-descriptive. It says 100% cotton, but it doesn't actually say how much of that cotton is recycled. So quite often what the big brands are doing, and you've no way of knowing, is they say contains recycled cotton. It's actually 2% or 5%, and the rest of it is brand new cotton, which of course uses so much water to produce. So yeah, that was like that is another myth that I am looking to debunk, I guess, is that especially with the production of our products, is that they actually are sustainable and we're not just greenwashing. So I've got a guy on the ground in China who actually goes and investigates all of the anyone that we have any dealings with, and actually goes to the facility and goes and looks at what's going on, gets all the certification up together, everything's ethical. I know exactly how much recycled product is in my bag. There are a couple of bits that we haven't managed to do recycled yet, like the zips, which I'm aware of, and I think as we grow and as we get bigger, I will look to make sure that the zips are recycled metal too. But at the minute, as a startup, it's just too expensive to get a recycled zip. Like even doing the recycled plastic vegan leather is so expensive to do. But I think it's worth it. I think people really do care now. So I think,
I agree. And I think as well, it's like people aren't expecting, or consumers aren't expecting businesses to be 100% perfect and 100% sustainable. They're expecting people to just be making an effort and showing that they care and doing something. I think it's really hard to be completely 100% sustainable and ethical, but just showing that you have that intention.
Yeah, because that's the thing, if I was to make it all completely recycled at the minute, I'd have to sell the bag for about £500, which I'd be cutting out my entire target market because I don't have the minimum order quantities at the moment to be able to do it. But so that's something that I hope to do in the future. But at the minute, are the shell of the bag, which literally all the main components of the bag are recycled, and I really like that because it's a minuscule percent of our materials that aren't. So I think all of that waste product would have just sat in landfill for centuries, and like we've rescued it from going into landfill and give it a new lease of life. So it's a win, isn't it? And no animals were harmed.
Yay! I love that. And as you say, it is all about intention, isn't it? It's just about intention from businesses. And you can clearly see that you have the right ones. So that is all that matters.
And action, though, because I think it's really naughty of these big businesses. They must be making so much profit that they are greenwashing. I think it's wrong. I think they should be more transparent. So, for example, the label that's going into our bag, I was advised not to put a breakdown of all the materials.
Right.
And I said, no, I'm not doing that bag. And I said, that's what I want, label, because I want to be transparent with people. I don't want to cover anything up or lie about anything. I know I've done my research. I know I'm as sustainable as I can possibly be at the moment. I haven't got anything to hide. So why would I not include all of that information on my label? Because I can answer any questions that anyone comes at me with. I'm not trying to hide anything. And I think that, you know, that deceptive sort of marketing around sustainability is wrong. I think it's misleading to consumers.
Definitely. And for the effort that it takes to greenwash, you may as well just take action and be sustainable.
Exactly.
It's just a roundabout way of just avoiding it, isn't it, really?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Sam's saying it's a great live. Thank you, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
Remember, we are taking questions. So if you've got any questions for Charlotte, pop them in the chat now, and I will be scrolling back at the end and finding them. And Claire's mic dropping. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is a big one. This is a hard one, I think, because it can be hard to narrow down sometimes. But what is the biggest lesson that you've learned in your career so far? That's a big one.
Oh, okay. So, that is really difficult. There's so much, honestly. Like the last 2 years, I've learned so much. I feel like a completely different person now. I know, like, just so different with decisions I make, like absolutely everything. Like my whole life is totally different, and it's down to mindset, 100%, and just making good decisions. I think that's probably the biggest thing I've learned, is to not act on like emotion so much, and take a breather and think about making good decisions. Because like I've always taken work so personally. Like even when I was a sales rep, I would take my job so seriously. I was like really emotional about it. I was like, I want to be the best, and like it's me, like genuinely like put in like
you were
time.
invested.
Yeah, I was invested. I always am. It's just in my nature. But I think now, like, I do think a bit more before I act, like, and I try to make good decisions. So just take time to make good decisions. Like, you don't always have to respond to everything straight away. And sometimes if you don't want to, you don't have to respond, or you can just ignore. So yeah, I think that's like a big one for me. Like, don't waste time on things that don't deserve your attention. Like, just get on and focus on you, and focus on making good decisions every single day. You have to do it every day, and over time it makes for a better, bigger picture. But yeah, all the little decisions that you make determine your bigger picture.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, so that's probably the one thing that's changed my life.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely guilty of being really impulsive as well. Like if an email comes in, I'm like, I need to answer it straight away, and I need to do this. Someone asks me to do something, and I'm like, I'll do it now. And I'm just like, no, hold on, prioritize.
Yeah, and you can end up stressing yourself out so much doing that, and trying to please everyone all the time, and that can mean that you just you necessarily, but for me that's how that sort of transpired, because I was always like, yes, I'll do that. Like I want to be that person that's, you know, doing the best and pleasing people, and I want that promotion, and you know, all of that. Yeah, Claire, she actually is. She really is.
Forget to reply. Claire, you're the kind of person that is just the opposite to me. I reply within like 1 minute. I have friends that just don't reply.
See,
for
I
ages.
don't anymore to say. Yeah. No, with my friends, I'm awful now. Like nowadays, I don't speak to anyone. I literally
Too
just like,
busy.
I'm so focused at the moment. Yeah, like I just focused, really, like focused on my
That's a
world
good thing, though.
domination. Yeah.
They'll forgive you for ignoring them if you're doing something worthwhile.
Yeah.
Okay, so last round. So these
Okay.
are questions that I've kind of put together specifically for you on topics that I think will be interesting. So if people in the comments think so too, then let us know. The first one, obviously you're very openly passionate about female empowerment on LinkedIn. I kind of was interested to see if there was a specific thing that sparked that. Like, where did that interest begin for you?
Oh, wow.
It's probably hard
That.
to pin it down, to one
No,
thing.
yeah. I mean, even growing up, I grew up. My parents are foster carers, and so from the age of 6, we always had like 3 foster kids in the house, and it was me and my brother as well. So it was always a really full house, and particularly when I was sort of going into being a teenager, we had a lot of boys in the house, and daily, and I get comments quite a lot, like quite judgy. Like I wasn't able to go out and do as much as what they were doing, and I felt like if I did that, there would be like a vibe, and like I'll always remember, and I absolutely love my mum, and I do think that my mum has grown and developed with me, and I think I've actually like helped my mum as I've gotten older. This like one event, and it literally crushed my, where I really wanted a skirt and Tammy. Do you remember Tammy?
Oh yeah.
And there was a tartan skirt that I really, really wanted, and it was a mini skirt. And we didn't get new clothes all the time like kids do now. Like it was literally not you just didn't have as much back then, or we definitely didn't. And my mum bought it for me, and I was so happy. When my brother came from school, he kicked off and was like, "Are you actually going to let her wear that? Like, she looks terrible. Like, she looks like a tramp. Like, oh, you're going to let her wear a skirt that short?" Like, my brother used to be Vol when I was younger, and it got taken back to the shop. I wasn't allowed it.
Oh
I
no!
know.
Oh, that breaks my heart.
Honestly, when I moved out when I was 17, I literally only wore really short skirts all the time. I went in like
Prove a
full-blown
point.
rebellion mode. I was like, watch me wear my short skirts every single day. Even in the winter, I used to wear hot pants with a massive jumper dress over the top with like massive big wedges, and I was like slaying. But I just went into like, I'm not being told what to do. But actually, like, I think there's been a lot of things, even in the workplace as well, where I have just been really miserable or felt like I'm not fitted in, or say to me once, "I just don't know how to speak to you because you're like a loud woman or like a strong woman, so I don't know like how to speak to you." And I was like, I don't understand. I literally am just having a conversation with you about the job at hand, and like I've tried everything to make this work with you. Do you know what I mean? And I was just like I'm really, really trying here, but he admitted to me it's because I was a woman. He said it to me. Play for admitting it at the same time. Like,
That's crazy.
I don't even know what to say to you now. Like, how do I
Yeah,
like? How do
how?
I can't chop my boobs off. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I mean to say. And it just made me sad. Like, I just remember being in that job. There was quite a few different events that just made me like really feel really stressed. I just was like at loose ends. And yeah, I think as well, female empowerment. I've had a few relationships which have just been really, really awful. And I recognise now the common denominator in that, and all of that is me. Like, it's what you allow to occur in your own life. But sadly, there are people out there that are there are a lot of guys out there, right? Narcissists, controlling and abusive, and unfortunately, if you're not in the right headspace, you will attract those people to you, and they can be so damaging, and it can cause a lot of trauma. And actually, once you're in that cycle, it's so difficult to break and to get your confidence back. And you start to believe all these things that when someone's nice to you, you just push them away because you can't cope with it. It's like, why are you being like that? Why are you being like that to me? Why are you saying those things to me? You don't really mean that. What do you want from me? That's what goes on in your head. And I just think it's so important. Like, there's a pattern of that. It's happened to so many friends of mine that have been either cheated on, lied to, like hit, had them taken the absolute mickey, I won't swear, with money, left them with kids on their own and just buggered off. And it's just not right. And I know there are so many good men out there, and I think working in the electrical industry really changed my perspective on men. Actually, there were some really old school and quite sexist people that I came across, but they were very few and far between. But working in a branch with literally only men, and hearing wives and their families, and actually listening to them talk, they'd show off sometimes, but deep down I knew that they were like family people and they were decent people, and that really, really changed my perspective and helped me. But it's taken me like a long time to like digest all of that and come out the other end of it. But I just think it's so important for women to empower other women. There's so much that you can come up against that I'm all for, like, being supportive, and there's nothing more hurtful. I always think like men think women dress for them. How much compliment is it if you go out and you feel like, oh, you love your outfit, some random girl walked up to you and went, oh my goodness, you look amazing, I love your dress, where did you get that from? How good would that make you feel?
Oh, it means way more than if a man did that. If a man did that, I'd be like, ew, go away.
Yeah, like, well, it depends how they said it. If they said it nicely, it's okay. But yeah, I know what you mean. If they've been all creepy, then no, see ya.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like women can lift each other up so much. And I think if you've got just 2 or 3 really supportive women in your life that have got your back and that believe in you, they really believe in you, and they're saying good things about you when you're not in the room, and they're putting you in front of opportunities, and they listen to you and they come to you as well, and I just think it just makes so much difference. You are who you surround yourself with.
I completely agree.
You surround yourself with strong, empowering.
I think that really comes
So I went on such a rant
as well. No, get it out. But it conveys like your content. I
don't know if that made any sense.
No, it did. And like when I see your posts, I'm like compelled to comment because I'm like, yes, love it. Because you're preaching to the choir. I think especially on LinkedIn, there is that kind of side of it where you do get horrible comments from men, which is something I really struggled with when I joined the platform. But I think it comes to a point where I'm just like, block. I don't even reply. I'm just like, block. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, just block and ignore. I think yeah, just sadly it just becomes water for ducks back, doesn't it? Like you're just like, oh
Yeah.
wow, idiot, block, idiot, delete. Like
Yeah.
it's literally just every day, isn't it? So yeah. But I
Yeah.
have to say there's some really lovely men on
Oh,
LinkedIn as
yeah.
well. Like, you know, like you were saying, like Ian Griffiths, I think Ian's just
Yes.
such a lovely person, and
He
Craig
was who
Brooks.
sprung to mind for me when you just said that as well, actually. So
Yeah, he's so
supportive.
sound. Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig Brooks as well, I absolutely
Oh, I
love.
love his content, yeah.
Yeah, and he's so genuine, and he really is like exactly what you think he's going to be like. He's
Yeah.
just really doesn't take any crap, and he's always like he's given me some serious pep talks in the past, and I'm like, thank you, I love you. Because I get like for like a small period of time, like I had it last week, like literally for about 3 days, I literally died inside because I was like, what am I doing
Oh no.
with my life? And like got really, I don't know what happened to me. So, like probably get it, like to be honest, for like 3 days, and then I'm like, right, I'm over it, I'm fine now. I'm like a
Yeah.
yo-yo.
No, I definitely have days like that, and I just think, ugh, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to see anyone. I just want to be here alone.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's a bit normal. I think
yeah.
I'm someone that needs me time. Like I like my own company, so I
Mm.
feel like sometimes I do just need that, and that's a telltale
100%.
sign.
Yeah, when you start to question your entire existence.
Yes.
Please just everybody leave me
Take
alone. So
yourself off.
yeah. I just need to go wallow for like a day and then I'll be
Yeah,
fine. Yeah,
so
100%
true.
from you on that.
Just to answer Aman's question, yes, we are recording this session. I typically upload them to the Voice Power YouTube, but I will post the link. I can DM it to you if you want. So that will be happening. Courtney, who abused you? I mean, I don't know about abused, but just the DMs, just inappropriate DMs, people messaging, and you think, oh, they seem nice. Like maybe they're going to want to collaborate or something. And you kind of entertain the conversation. And then it's like, you are the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. And you're like, oh, great. Goodbye. So I don't know about abuse, but
Those are the
just
worst
comments
ones,
like
the
that.
ones that seem normal.
Yeah.
They're the biggest offenders, I think. Like
It's so
they're worse
annoying.
because if someone just comes out and is just a weirdo straight away, you're just like, yeah, I
Yeah.
can just block you. But
Hmm.
if they seem genuinely interested in your product or your services to start with, and then
Yeah.
they just randomly are like, can I add you on WhatsApp? And you're like, no, do one.
No, you can't.
And by the way, you're blocked. Like,
Yeah.
this is
I
a
think I'd almost
business.
rather them be upfront,
Yeah,
because then you just wasted my time messaging you for
yeah,
what?
yeah. Like, self identify as a weirdo before you get into a conversation with them.
Yeah. So true. Okay, next question. What was the inspiration behind starting up the second business with the bags? I mean, we've kind of touched on that very lightly earlier on, but was there anything like a pinpoint moment where you were like, oh, or did it happen gradually?
Yeah, so it was kind of gradual actually. I was living in Bath at the time, and I was on a college campus, trying to find this date manager for a meeting, and I just was like juggling loads of stuff, and like I spoke to my friend Sean, and then I think either she or I said like about bags, and I think it might have been her that said to me like, oh, you need a proper laptop bag for women type thing, because we were both saying we're not using it. I used to seriously wind my sales manager up because he'd be like, why aren't you using the bag I've given you? And I'd be like, James, I'll just carry it under my arm. Like, seriously, I'm not using that bag. Like, I'll just carry my laptop and everything else can go in my bag. I'd just be like, oh, wait, I would not be seen dead wearing that, sorry. And he'd be like, that's so unprofessional. And I was like, no, That's unprofessional that you expect me to use that bag. So there
How
was all of
rude.
that, and then I just thought, oh, that would be good. And then I started doing some work for a client last year. Like, it was like full blown lockdown. I get so confused with when things happen now because
Me
we've been in
too.
for so long. I'm like, when was that? But yeah, so I started really successfully, built her own business, exited that, and then launched like 3 new businesses, all e-commerce in lockdown. So I was doing some work for her, and like, she was so inspirational to me, and I see what she went through as well, and how, like, everyone would look at her and think, wow, she's so successful, like, it must be so easy for her. But like, I just seen her grafting so hard, and like everything what she put into it, and I just thought, wow, like, she's amazing. And I just thought, you know what, why can't I just do something like that? Like, if someone else can do it and they're just a normal person, why can't I? Actual design itself and do research around the design, and obviously, like, I paid a bag designer to actually do the specifications, because if I did it, it would look like, I have no idea what it would look like, but it definitely wouldn't look like that. So, and that's not cheap, and you've got all the, like, you know, market research and mood boards and like everything. Like, it was such a long process to get the design right. And then I've been reading so much about all the different skills that I know are needed for like 18 months now, like, literally just like feeding my brain so that I've got like the best chance of success, because it's a massive gamble, I'll be honest with you, Courtney, and it's really, really stressful. Like, so I've put a lot of money into it, and it's kind of scary, if I'm honest. Like, I don't own a house. I don't own like anything. Like, I've put everything into the bags. I really do. And I really do think it will turn into, you know, a big business. I think it's a business I can grow and scale, which I couldn't do. I've really struggled to do that with Mazbox Rolls. I love working with people one-on-one, but I just found that, you know, like, outsourcing things, it's just not the same. Like, you just can't give people what you want to give them. And I didn't want like the big overheads of the office and loads of people to manage from a content perspective, or let people loose on someone else's account. Like, that to me was just too stressful. I'd rather just do it myself. Whereas with the bags, obviously, like, all that I can confidently grow and scale, it's distribution, it's logistics, it's account management, it's sales, it's marketing, you know, it's everything that I love, and I just need to sell them. That's
just a little thing there.
Like, obviously, I can't build that business if I don't actually. But I think the key to that, and this is why I believe it's going to be a success, is I have done my market research and I have built a solution that I believe people want. I'm not just going, you should buy this because it's going to benefit me, or please support me in my business by buying my bag. The whole point is, I don't want a pity purchase from people. I want people to buy it because they love it. Like, they really love it as much as I do. And I believe that is a business that you can grow. I think personal branding will get you so far, and it's really good to kick a brand off. But eventually, you want your business brand to be bigger than you are, I think. I want Carter to overtake my personal profile on LinkedIn eventually.
Definitely.
It's done really well. Like, to start with, you know, we've got over 1,000 followers now, and I think like just over a week. Like, so like, for a company page, that's unreal. Like, I know people that try for years. Like, it's like that be their like year goal. You know what I mean? So I was like, whoa, oh my goodness, like, this is really positive sign, and hopefully that means that once the stock's here, there's an audience that's warm, that's ready, and they're excited too, and they really want to buy. And then hopefully I can just, you know, build it, grow, and make a living out of it and all of those things. But it's quite scary. It's so different from the petrified days, and other days I'm really excited. And like, I don't really know how to feel at the moment. I just keep going like round and round in circles with it all.
Well, I, for one, am excited to see how it grows. I mean, there is a definite gap in the market. And as you say, that is a key thing. There's no point putting something out there that people don't need. So I'm excited to see where it goes for you, to be fair.
Thank you. So kind of thank you for having me on today as well. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah, because I think it's like so nice going and, you know, being able to get that platform to go and talk about what you're doing. So I just think it's so important. And it does offer such a good level of transparency as well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we have one more question and then we're on to Q&A. And that is, what change would you like to see in the professional world in terms of gender equality? Big one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's so much, isn't there? I think the biggest thing would be, I think it would be good if women felt more comfortable to raise any issues that they weren't happy with, because I do think that a lot of things go unreported, unflagged, because you worry that if you're bringing something up, you're going to be seen as a troublemaker. You maybe are setting yourself up for failure, like you won't get that promotion because you're highlighting things, you're stirring things up a little bit, do you know what I mean? Disrupting the way that things are. And I do think, you know, things aren't necessarily equal at work. So I would say that would be the first thing that needs to change, is that women feel confident and comfortable to come forward and say when they feel like there is an issue at work when it comes to equality or sexism, that they can speak out about it and not feel like they're going to be perceived to be someone that's just making a big fuss over nothing or stirring the apple cart.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's really important, because I think with any movement, the change has to come from those people, because that, you know, that's how things are going to be moving in the right direction. So yeah, that's a really good point, actually.
Yeah. What about you? What would you change?
What would I change? I mean, I think I definitely agree with yours. Like I say, like asking us for information and feedback, and how asking actual women how businesses can make change is a massive one. Yeah, I'm not sure in terms of like a other one. You put me on the spot here. I haven't thought of my own question.
Sorry. It's okay. Move on to the next question. Quick. No one will notice.
Yeah. I'm gonna think of one later, and I'm literally gonna just be like, "This." I'll DM you like, I know now. But yeah, I think just having that safe space, isn't it? I mean, I'm really lucky that I work in such a small business, which I think really helps. And quite a female-dominated business. Yeah, I've got 2 female directors, so that really helps for me, because it's like such an supportive environment. But yeah, I couldn't imagine being a woman in a corporate environment in a really massive organization. I think it would be a much different scenario.
I think, you know, and I think it depends on the person as well, because I think some people they pick up on things easier. Do you know what I mean? Like I've worked with women that are like a bull in a china shop and they don't even notice when something's blatantly sexist. They're just like, what? Never seen it. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And they're just so like, just not even, doesn't even enter their head. And then there's other people that, you know, I think you've got to be considerate of everybody and how everybody feels, because workplaces should be inclusive, and, you know, you've got to take into account, and like you say, go and actually ask the people that are concerned, how do they feel? Listen to everyone.
Yeah, because not everyone is offended by the same things. What is offensive to someone might not be to someone else. So yeah, that's so true. Okay, I'm just going to look back in the chat for any questions. I did see one pop in earlier. Let's have a look. Question. Oh gosh, this is a deep one. If you knew you were dying in one day, what would be your last meal and why? Questions for both Courtney and Charlotte. Do you want to take the lead on that one? The last meal.
I'd probably do a picnic, to be honest. Like a really nice picnic in a really nice place with a bottle of champagne or prosecco. Yeah,
like the little sandwiches, the little finger sandwiches.
Yeah, and those little like spinach and cheese muffins that you can get. I love
Oh yeah,
those. Cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
I do like meat. Sorry, Courtney.
There's no hard feelings. I like meat too, like taste-wise.
I know. Do you know what? I am trying to really cut down on meat. The difficult thing I find is Matilda really likes it, and I don't want to like push that onto her. So I do.
Yes.
I actually have gone off a lot of meat now. I can only eat like thin antipasties.
Oh yeah, like salami and stuff.
Yeah, like a lot of other meat I can't eat now because it makes me feel sick. But so yeah, we've been trialing like real like vegetarian. I tried to do vegan. I found it so difficult. I don't know how like you do a full vegan diet.
It takes getting used to. I think I really learnt to cook when I went vegan. Before, even when I was a meat eater, I mean, I was a student at the time, so I was literally living off oven food, like Kiev's, bolognese, like microwave meals. So like, it was just not good anyway. But with vegan food, you have to make it flavoursome because you're making up for the lack of the meat, which normally brings a lot of flavour. So like, I fully learned about all the spices. What do they do? When do I add them? Like, and now I think I'm a pretty good cook. So it is something you really have to invest in. Like just going vegan.
You should do some cooking lessons on your live show.
Oh my god, yeah, I actually should. I do actually have a vegan Instagram page, which is just kind of a hobby that I do. So maybe I should. I mean, drop it in. No, yeah, I do. But we should drop it in the comments. If anyone wants to see me make something, drop it in the comments and I might consider it. If I don't burn the kitchen down, because that would not be good on a live show. For me, Sultan, what would I do? I think it would have to be a Chinese, Chinese food is my favorite thing ever. So I get salt and pepper tofu, essential, noodles and bean sprouts, salt and pepper chips, and satay sauce. That would be my order.
Yeah.
I love a Chinese. Me too. It's too good.
I took Tilly for dim sum last week.
Oh, really? I actually went to Yo Sushi last night and it was so good. I'm obsessed. Okay, I think there's only one more question, which from a man. He just wanted a clarification of the businesses. Do you want to take the lead?
How much business she currently has, please? Ask her one or two. So
technically,
oh yeah, two. Yeah, two technically. A marketing company where I do LinkedIn marketing for businesses and individuals. So content creation and strategy, and training as well. Though I haven't done any training for a while, to be honest with you. I mostly work with clients on a retainer basis and do produce their content for them on an ongoing basis. So yeah, that's business number one. Business number two is vegan leather ladies laptop bags made from recycled sustainable materials. And yeah, that is a new business. So that was probably take a little while to sort of, take off. But yeah, it's happening.
Love it. Yeah, perfect. Okay, well, I can't see any more questions in the chat. So, I mean, we have gone over, but we've just having too much fun. Too much to talk about.
No, we could probably talk all day, to be fair.
Yeah, I literally could. But I've got to get stuff done. We'd never get anything done, would we?
I know. Oh, dear.
Well, thank you so much again for being my guest today.
Oh,
it's
thank
been a
you
pleasure.
so much for having me. It's so nice to actually meet you virtually.
I know.
And speak to you.
I know. I feel like we have never actually just sat down. We're always commenting, but we've never actually seen each other.
Yeah.
So
no,
hopefully
it's
many
really
more.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I've got LinkedIn Live now. I haven't used it, but when I do start to use it, I'll get you on. You'll be my guest.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching, and have a nice day. And I'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.